record. No one's in here yet, but I'm going to go ahead and get started anyway. And since I'm recording it, that way you guys will have access to it later. So this is my training on how to use Canva for creating and personalizing graphics for your business. And hopefully I do this right. I haven't done one before. I'm going to share screen. I'm going to look at my desktop. Okay. Hopefully that is working. It looks good for me. So let me type it in. So here I've opened up Canva, and as you can see here across the top, it has, this is where you're going to start creating your design. You have multiple options for sizes, so the best thing for you to do is to use the size that best suits your job. So right here we have more options. So, so you can see you've got social media designs, that's just square. So like if I wanted to create a profile picture, got US letters 8.5 by 11, flyers 5 by 7. When you hover over it, it'll tell you what size, and then like different types of social media posts, documents, blogging, marketing materials, all kinds of options that you can have for whatever you need. So anyway, but before I get started on Canva specifically, I'm going to make sure that you are aware of our branding guidelines. And if you go into your back office, you can go to resources, and over here you have the branding guide, and you can open that up, or you can open it up from here, or you can download it. I happen to have it downloaded on my computer. And so anyway, for years my husband worked in graphic design, and so I'm somewhat familiar with a branding guide. We have to follow certain rules for certain brands, and Usborne has definitely asked us to follow their guidelines because we are representing them. But even though we are representing Usborne Books More, which is how we are to refer to our company, we're also independent consultants, and sometimes your graphics or your website, or if you want to send out a newsletter, that kind of stuff, it should also reflect you, because you yourself are a business, and so it is good to also brand yourself. So several of you I know have branded yourself pretty well. I'm trying to do that. That's the little newer concept for me personally. So in your branding guide, you're going to have the reasons that they have a branding guide, what makes up their brand, what does it do for them, why they need standards, and just kind of the ins and outs again of why there is a branding guide and why it needs to be followed. As you scroll down, don't just scroll through it, read it. But anyway, you'll find the policies that they ask us to follow as far as using the graphics that home office releases, and how you are to use the graphics that they have given us. So this is an important part right here. All social media graphics created by consultants must have the independent consultant or educational consultant tagline. It helps to differentiate graphics that are created by home office and those that are created individually. And images and graphics created by home office are to be used for their intended purposes only. Oh, right over here. All home office graphics are to be used in their entirety due to copyright licensing. All content provided by the home office, such as text, graphics, images, etc., as well as collection, arrangement, and assembly of all content is exclusive. So that means once they've created it, it's theirs. They have a copyright on that, and you are not to use it. You're not to change it. You can use it, but you can't change it, and credit should be given to home office. So I've also created copyrighted materials in the past and have personally had them copied, and it was a little uncomfortable to have my stuff copied. Anyway, fair warning. Again, logo usage. So this is the preferred logo that we are to use and how we are to use it. We don't use educational services tagline on anything other than that's specific to school and library. And again, with the logo usage, you know, how like you're only supposed to use it in certain colors and certain size, all this stuff, and not to misuse it. I see this done frequently. Don't use the logo on the colored background like that. So there are transparent logos available to be used, but basically you're never supposed to alter it in any way. I have, in playing with Canva, accidentally stretched a logo. Oops. And I'll show you how to deal with that when we get into Canva. Never change the font associated with the logo or alter the placement. Those are very important things. As I get into Canva, I'm going to show you how this is super helpful, and the color charts are really helpful. And then fonts. This is one of the reasons that I use Canva as opposed to some other programs. These are the fonts that they want us to use. The core font is this Museo Slab 500. I have had a hard time finding that one for free, as well as this Cowflish script. I don't find it for free either. But these substitute fonts, which we are allowed to use, you can get a free download. It tells you where to get it. Anyway, Canva has these fonts in they're already in their program, so that's one of the reasons I like it. I don't have to download something new. I can just use what Canva has. I was actually trying to create a document on my iPad the other day and was sorely disappointed that I did not have these fonts. So, and someone asked me earlier if about Canva and whether or not it's on an Android format, and it's not. You can't get it on the Android format, so laptop is really the best way to go, or PC. And there is an app for the iPad. It is not the most user-friendly. It's not too bad just to create something, or if you've already created something on your laptop and you got to move something around or whatever, it's not so bad. I've done it. It's not my favorite. So, but it is there and it is helpful. So again, and then this part of the branding guideline shows us some of the graphic elements that we are allowed to use, and they are all available for download from the Home Office Branding group. If you are not part of that group and would like to be part of that group, just talk to your team leader and they can get you in on that group. So with that, then there's some more of their graphic philosophy. This is really important right here. Respect images. Again, we don't want to violate copyright laws. So if you're going to use an image, if you want a picture or something like that, you need to find a free site. I have found a free site, and I'll show you that in a minute too. But also, you know, I see a lot of questions people ask for. They'll see a graphic that somebody else has and like, hey, can we reproduce this in, you know, our colors? Or they'll say, you know, hey, my friend from 31 created this, you know, can we just make a new one with Usborne? And this kind of explains why we cannot always do that. We always need to be respectful of what other people have created, and always give proper, what is it called? Proper credit, you know, give credit where credit's due. So those are just important things to follow before you create your own graphics. So we'll get started with Canva. Let me close this down. And so here I am in Canva, and I have, you know, this is the main page. And I can go right over here to all my designs, and it'll bring up stuff that I've already created. And so this is, we're going to choose our size based on what we need. And I'm going to go ahead and show you. This is a engagement post that I created just earlier today. It took me about 5 minutes. So this would be something that you could use on your group page or something, just to create some engagement from your customers. And so I would title this something like, where would you like to be? And I'm going to just pull in photos. What I did, I went into Pixabay, and I typed in just different locations like beach. And see different images, and all I have to do is click on one, and okay, actually I did this in my iPad earlier. Okay, so I'm going to right click and hit save image as, and I'm going to go to, I'm going to save it on my desktop just like that. And then if I wanted to go back into my post, and I'm going to go over here to uploads, and you can see where I've already uploaded pictures, and then all I have to do from there is just drag and drop. And anyway, that works pretty well. And then I created an element just to put A, B, C, and D on there. Now I went to elements, kind of shape, pulled in a circle, shrunk it down by grabbing it like that, whatever size you want it to be. And I didn't really want it to be purple, so I clicked on the color purple and changed it to white. And then I took a text box and made an A, and then dragged my A over. So pretty simple, pretty easy to do there. Now I don't actually want that there, so what I'm going to do, delete that and delete that. And then from here I can share it. I can share it to my team. I can get a social link, or I can share it socially, like on Facebook or Twitter, or I can get a link and just copy it and send you a message or an email with that. Pretty easy stuff. Okay, so some other things about Canva is that you can actually save some fonts. So right here, I have the two main fonts that we are allowed to use via our branding guidelines. So this is Aleo, you can see right there, and this is the Flickr script, which we're allowed to use. So I'm just going to go ahead and walk you through a brand new, starting a whole new Facebook post. So we're going to do, I'm just going to grab social media. And then I'm going to go over here to Pixabay. And I'm going to look for a dessert. Okay. And I'm just going to look for one that looks good. And so let's see. Yeah, that would be all of them. And green puffs. Good, right? Okay. So then I'm going to right click, save image as, put it on my desktop, save it. Come over here to my design. I'm going to upload. I'm going to upload my own image. And somewhere here on my desktop, I have too much on my desktop. FYI. There's cream puffs. It's going to upload into my images. Now, when I use my iPad, what's super handy is that there is an option here that actually just looks at my camera roll. And so anything that's on my iPad, I can go ahead and use. I don't have to download, upload, and all of that. That's kind of nice. So I'm going to pop this picture in over here. And let's say I just simply want to ask, you know, what's your favorite dessert? So I'm going to take the text box. And it always puts it kind of central. I don't want it there. So I just grab it and move it. And if you notice this purple line, this little dotted line, that helps me to center things. And so like if I wanted my picture like directly in the center, it's now giving me like, it's giving me a vertical line and a horizontal line. And I'm pointing at my screen as if you could see my pointing, but anyway. So it's giving me those crosshairs there, so I would know that my image is centered. Those guidelines are really helpful. So I'm just going to say, what is your favorite dessert? Okay. And so like you could use this as another engagement post. That one's pretty simple. If you have created it as an engagement post, talking again about marketing yourself, you can put your own little tagline on there. So I just recently bought a domain, and I'm trying to brand myself with that domain, and it's Kids Read for Fun. So I'm going to take this. Actually, I don't really want that font. I want a font that I like, that I feel like kind of represents me a little bit. And I'm going to just write kids. Yeah. Kids read for fun. And I can just go ahead and put .com on there if I want to. And then my brand is on there. Okay. So branding yourself helps people find you, helps people recognize you, which is very important. And so now when you put something like that on there, you don't really want to put it right here in the white section, because that can just be deleted later. So that's how people can steal your images and steal your creative, what is that? Intellectual property. That's what it is. So anyway, so I would take that and I would put it somewhere on here where it can't just be easily deleted. I would probably want it a little bit bigger so it's more readable. Now here's something too. If you, it automatically chooses a text box size, but you can change that just by stretching it out. Okay. So because this isn't really an image that depicts anything specific to Usborne, I do not have to have the Usborne logo on there. So I'm not going to put that on there. What I am going to do, I'm going to go ahead and look at some of the things that I have done. This is my Facebook cover for my business page, and so you can see I pulled in this lovely selfie that I took. I had to edit out the background. Nobody needed to see the bathroom mirror, anyway, so I edited that out and did a little Photoshop there. And you know what, I did that on my iPad, just with my like finger controls. I was kind of impressed that I was actually able to do that. And then I used an element from Home Office. I used this banner. And you know, part of branding myself is kind of choosing a font, choosing a couple of fonts for me that I like. I use this one a lot because I feel like it looks like chalk on a chalkboard. And then I just really like this one. Every time I use my name, I try to use this one. But this is the logo that is one of the logos that we can use. It helps associate me with Usborne. So, anyway, so I really like that. And that was pretty easy. So, you know, I just put it on there and, you know, play with the placement a little bit. I wish someone else were on here so that you guys could actually ask me questions. What do you want to know? What things are you struggling with when you try to, you know, get on Canva? So yeah. So we'll go back to my designs. One of the other reasons I love to use Canva, or things I use it for, is when I do book fairs for daycares and preschools. I don't have to order flyers because I just create one. And so this is an example of one that I have created in Canva. And what I do is I create it, and then all I have to do is change the elements. So you can see I already changed elements once. But I change, so I can go in and I can just type a different, oh, that and the SD stuff. Okay. So I just changed the title. And then I'll change the date when I go in. I'll change the date for a different one. And also when I'm creating my own flyers for book fairs, I can put in a QR code. And you can see, oops, that is not what I intended. Okay. Oops. Okay. Really messing that up. Okay, but you got a good view of the guidelines. So this right here, I can put in the QR code. I can put in my website with the book fair link so that they can go directly to that book fair just by scanning that. So I do what I can to make it easier on parents. So what I would do is I would download this as a PDF and email it to my daycare director, and they can print them off. And so I don't have to order supplies. They are branded, but they also say what I want them to say. So I can give parents details that the daycare center wants me to give them. And, you know, just to let them know that that they can that their purchase does something. They're not just supporting me, but they're supporting the center that their child goes to. And then I also create these teacher wish lists. Again, the center can print them off. Real simple, real easy. They print them off, they fill them out, and then when I have those done, when they fill those out, then I can have parents easily purchase off of those wish lists. And when the book fair is over, I always choose the books, they're free books from those lists. And this keeps me from, when I have this done before, this keeps me from having to wait on a center to get me their wish list. I can go ahead and turn in the sales, get it in done, and get their rewards. And then also that means, like, if they've chosen something that maybe is out of stock or they're not going to get, I have other options to choose from. So really like the system. It works really well for me to be able to do this. So, so that's some reasons that I really like to use Canva and how I do it. Sometimes I find like an old, outdated graphic that's been created, like this one. There was an older version, and I just kind of changed it a little bit to go with our branding guidelines and to bring it more up to date. This is how I can share about book fairs with potential schools, libraries, daycares, stuff like that. So anyway, I guess I've probably gone into too much of why I use it and not so much how I use it. But I think that's important too. In how I do this is I have several books, book images already uploaded into Canva. And so I can bring those in and change these out when I need to or want to. So like I could take these out, I could delete those. And then I can bring in, let's say I want to bring in drawing animals, which I have. I'm going to shrink that because it's a little big, right? And shrink a little bit more. Okay, and then we can bring in this one too. Okay. Wouldn't typically put those together, but just for the sake of argument. Okay, so now I have those two together. So see how easy that was just to switch those books out? So like say you have a graphic like this and you have a book on there that's out of production, you can take that image and change it. And it's pretty simple to do. And then, you know, this is this little round thing, this little round arrow. That's how I can play with it, flip it around, have fun with it. There's also, anyway, that's how I use some of that. There are also all of these graphics that we're allowed to use. Again, they're in the branding group if you need them. So lots of options to use. These right here, these banners are not really great to use unless you're using a white background. There's somewhere else. I don't have them on here, but there are some without the white block behind them. So, anyway, trying to think what else you guys might want to know other than why I do it. I was trying to find a specific on something. I can't seem to find it. Anyway, sometimes I just want to, you know, I want to convey a message to somebody, and I don't want to, it actually takes me less time to create a graphic than it does to sometimes find a graphic. Or if I were to post online and say, hey, do you have a graphic for that? And by the time someone gets me one, well, maybe it's good quality, maybe it isn't good quality, but I know if I create it in Canva that the image quality is going to be good when I download it and upload it. This is something I encourage you to do as well. You know, really put your name, put your website on it, and then other people aren't going to be stealing it, because other consultants don't want to use graphics that have my name on them. Now this one wouldn't be too hard to go in and white that out, or black it out, I guess, at this point. But, you know, anyway, it's part of branding yourself and making, you know, setting yourself apart. So I don't know how much more time I have on here, but I'm going to try to go ahead and show you how I use the branding guide colors. I said I would say that. Okay, so when I click on this, when I click on any one of these words, it'll show me right here what color I'm using. So this is the orange. If I didn't already have it in there, what I would do, I'd go to add a color and go open up my branding guideline and find it again. So right here, I'm going to copy this. So I just highlight it, right click, and copy. And then I go back to Canva and I post that right here. And that takes me to the exact color that I need. So that's how I use that. That's why those numbers are very important. And then that gets me exactly, it gets the colors branded exactly the way they're supposed to be. I don't have to kind of go through my color wheel like this and go, which orange? I know we got an orange, which orange is it supposed to be? So I can just go in here and put in the exact color and boom, we're good. Canva also saves a few of your brand colors. I do think you can also create a palette, but that may be like in a paid version. That's the other thing. Everything I do on this site is from the free version. So I haven't paid for anything yet. So if I like what I've done, I can go here to Canva. Well, that wasn't what I was supposed to do. I was going to show you how to save something. Anyway, so let's look at this again. We'll do that real quick. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to hit Save. It does auto-save pretty frequently, so it's not as big of a deal. You're not going to lose something. It's not going to be that easy to lose something. You do have layouts that are preset, and so sometimes you can search through those, and maybe you find something that you like, and maybe you want to just change the colors on that. As long as these are free, you can do that, because that's what they're here for. They're here free to change how you need to do it. So those are free, and you can do that. So if I wanted to create something new, you also have backgrounds. So you can, click on a background and change it. I have a favorite background that I like to use. It's this one because it looks like a chalkboard. And I do like to, I can change the transparency. I like to keep it around 80. And it's kind of hard to get it exactly where I want it, but I'm trying. So anyway, that's close enough. And then I add my elements to it as I want to. I'm going to go to uploads, and so I can add a picture of myself. Anyway, I don't put my picture on everything. But I have created an email through MailChimp, and I did use this as my header because I'm going to meet people at a booth, and they may or may not remember my name when I send them my name, when they see my email. But I'm hoping that if I send out an email that has my picture on it, and they're like, oh yeah, I remember her. She was so nice. I want to buy books from her. That's what I'm hoping. So I can put, so just drag and drop an image, and then, add an element to it if you need to. This is how I created the party graphic, and that's like way too big. Like, I need to shrink that down. Okay, so, and then you can just size and shape and all of that stuff, everything that you have. You can just play with it. And I really do, I recommend you take some time to play with it. Have an idea in mind of what you want to do. A lot of the graphics that I have created, I've created because, maybe I saw something that inspired me, but then I took it into Canva and made it my own. I don't think I have much else to share about Canva, so I'm going to end this training, and anyway, I will post it for you to see later. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to just send them to me, and I will do what I can to help you with that question. So anyway, hope you guys have a great night.